Hey everybody, I'm Becky and I am the Social Work Witch, and it's good to see you again. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. And if this is the first time you've stumbled upon me on YouTube or Facebook or any of the other formats that I'm on, then welcome and I'm glad you're here. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you today about money. Money seems to be a forbidden topic in some environments, and I specifically wanted to talk to you about witchcraft and money. And as you can guess, I have a name like the Social Work Witch on my channel. I talk a lot about topics relating to social work and social justice and mental health, and I talk a lot about witchcraft and magic, and I tell people all the time that change is magic, that a lot of things that we do, or let me change that we can affect our own well-being by using ritual. And ritual can be something as simple as when we light candles on a birthday cake and blow them out, or it can be, a full circle with the people we love in it and drawing down the moon and all of those fancy ceremonial things that sometimes we do when we are witches. And rituals happen, and now you can hear a coughing dog. That's real life in my house. Ritual is something that happens not just for witches, but people of all different religions, and even people who are atheists use ritual. So again, lighting those candles on the birthday cake is a ritual, if you think about it. Anyway, change is magic. When we set up a plan to change and we want to, and we put it into action, and I'm gonna have a whole video coming up in a couple of weeks talking about SMART goals and ritual planning and how they go together. We're not there yet. That's a much longer video. What I wanted to talk to you today about is the whole concept of witchcraft and money. And I've had some people say to me, a person that I love said to me one day that they're a bad witch. And I'm like, you're a bad witch? Why are you a bad witch? And they're like, oh, I don't do ritual. And I'm like, that doesn't make you a bad witch. And they're like, I don't do circle, I don't do ritual, I don't have an altar. And the truth is, you really don't need any of those things. To be someone involved in magic and involved in witchcraft, if this is your deal, you don't need fancy, robes and fancy tools and things like that. You don't even need an altar. In fact, for most of my life, I've not had one. Now I probably have 4 of them all over the darn place. But for many times in my life, I didn't have an altar. I would have like a little box, something, oh gosh, and this one's probably dusty, something probably about the size of this, and this is just something that I bought on clearance somewhere. I think I might have paid $2 for it. But something like this is big enough. I know it looks super fancy, but like I said, I think I paid $2 for it at a yard sale. Something like that is big enough to hold your altar tools, and you don't even need that. You can shove them in a drawer. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about witchcraft and money and privilege and and how you can create magic and how you can do all of the things that are involved in witchcraft without needing a whole lot of money. So when you begin, a lot of times you begin and you don't have a lot of stuff. And sometimes people go out to fancy stores and they buy all of the beautiful tools and candles and herbs, and you can do that. If you have the money and the intent and you want to go to a beautiful store near you and buy all the fancy tools, I say go for it. where I live in Berks County, Pennsylvania, and there are some really incredibly beautiful stores in my area, and I could easily go in them and spend way more money than I have, and I would love to do that. I don't, but I would love to do that. And there are stores all over the place. But there are people that, one, don't have stores selling witchy items in them in their area, or they don't have transportation to get to those stores. I currently live about 40 minutes from the closest witchy store to me, and I love it, but it's 40 minutes away, and if I didn't have transportation there, I obviously wouldn't be able to go there. You can order things online. Again, you need a credit card and a bank account to order things online. And not everybody has access to those things. And you need more money. So let's talk about how to create magic and how to do witchy things with what you've got. So I'm going to show you some things, and some of them are items I've purchased and some are items I've made. And we'll talk about how we use these things. So I want to show you, it's a cauldron. You don't need a cauldron. It's beautiful, right? This cauldron, if I were to buy it in a witchy shop, would probably cost me $30 to $40. It depends on where you live. Now I'm going to show you a secret about my cauldron. Are you ready? I promise that's not my glitter paint. I bought this cauldron. Beautiful, right? I bought this cauldron, oh my gosh, when I was 23 years old. It's a long, long time ago. At a yard sale for $1.50. That sounds amazing, right? So you can find things, and I have things that are similar to this. I have some beautiful burn bowls that I bought in my meditation space that you might have seen. That I bought for 25 cents and made them pretty by cleaning them up. You don't need to have like official looking things. But if you want these things, you just keep your eyes open for them. Like I said, I paid $1.50 for this at a yard sale. What do I use my cauldron for? Sometimes I use my cauldron as a place to keep my sage and other things that I might burn. So I have this lovely sage bundle that a friend gave to me, and I only use a little bit at a time, so you can see that I've still got it going. But I also have this. Looks kind of messed up, right? That's sage out of my garden. See? I have a whole bunch of it. You can go to a shop or to online and buy sage bundles for $3 to $4. Or, this is just kitchen sage. This is not the fancy, super expensive white sage. It's just kitchen sage that I grew, garden sage, that I grew in my garden. And I have a big, well, not so big, jar of it that I harvested. I harvested this stuff last year. The stuff from this year hasn't been harvested yet. And I can use it to cook with. Oh, it smells so good. I can use it to cook with. I can use it in ritual. It's right here. So that's one thing. But you can find ritual items out in nature. So let me show you some ritual items that I found out in nature. It's a feather, right? I found this in my front yard. Looks a little ragged because it's been sitting on my altar for a while. But you need to call out to air. You've got a feather, right? I often use bubbles to represent the element of air. I buy them at the dollar store, right? Rocks. You don't have to go and buy expensive crystals. This is a rock I found next to a lake. It's pretty though, right? Look at that. Yeah, trying to get caught up to my camera. Look at that pretty rock. I'm trying to find other things that I found. So, other things that you can buy. Let's go back to talking about yard sales. This one was a gift from my kiddo. It's a lovely chalice, right? It has, I don't know if you can see it, but it has like grapes and leaves engraved in it. Again, the kid bought it at a yard sale. You can go, we talked about going to those fancy shops, and you can buy special spell packets. These were $8 from a shop that I found that I love. I love this shop. They have beautiful things. But you can go and buy these expensive little packets of herbs, right? Or you can go and buy, a lot of stores have bulk herbs, and you can buy things like this, right? Can you see that one? That one's hyssop. I don't know if you can see it or not. And this one is eucalyptus. But you can also grow things in your garden. I have lavender somewhere here too. And like I said, you can go buy these things and pay whatever the premium price is for them. Or you can grow things in your garden. You can reach out to your friends and ask what they're growing in their garden. I've done that already when I was unable to grow lavender and I needed it for something I needed to do. I reached out to my friends and said, hey, who's growing lavender? Can I get a little bit of it? And you guys can trade. So if you're growing something in your garden and they're growing something in their, you can trade. But the other thing you can do is sometimes you can just use what you have around the house. So, and that means you can use what you have in the house. You can go to the dollar store and buy things. Salt. Bought it at the dollar store. Cinnamon. It's an herb, man. You can buy it at the dollar store. That one I bought at my local grocery store for $1. Honey. If you need to sweeten somebody up a little bit. This one is not from the dollar store, but you can buy honey at the dollar store. So, witchcraft does not have to be expensive. Let me show you another quick and easy and inexpensive thing you can do with supplies that you can either find around your house or you can buy at the dollar store. So, these are some plain jar candles. Sometimes they're called 7-day candles. And I buy these at my local Dollar Tree. I don't know if you have one of those near you, but I pay $1 for these, and I usually keep a supply of them here. And what you can do, you can take a Sharpie, or I like to use paint because then I can use different colors. And if you don't have paint hanging around your house, again, you can buy it at the dollar store. So I like to take paint and I paint my intentions on the candle. So I'll give you an example. I created this spell candle when I started the Social Work Witch. And I painted Social Work Witch on it. And I painted some cauldrons and some magic wands. And I wrote, change is magic, right on my candle. Because I really believe that change is magic. And every time I work on something related to my business, my Social Work Witch business, I light the candle and I let it burn. And it burns the whole time while I'm working. You can do that. You can create a spell candle with one of these jar candles that you can buy at the Dollar Tree by just writing your intention on the candle. And again, you can use a Sharpie. You can use, they call these things, they call them China markers, but it's a pencil that you peel off. They write on glass really well. They sell those in an art store, so that's why I said a Sharpie is cheaper probably. Or like I said, if you have paint hanging around your house, but you can paint your intentions, pictures, words, whatever you want, right on the candle, and then let your paint dry because you don't want to be touching it when it's wet. And then you can light the candle and just let it burn and think about, meditate on what it is that you want. Think about it, envision it, picture how you want that to come about. And there is a quick and easy candle spell that you can use to make change in your life using items that you either have around your house or can buy at the dollar store. What do you think? These are just some examples of how you can make witchcraft work for you, even on a limited budget. I know that a lot of people don't have, money to go out and buy expensive things or a lot of time. And like I said, you really can use whatever you have in your house to create magic. Again, stones, feathers, candles, string, some good old knot magic, one of the things that's usually on my altar, herbs from your garden, spices and herbs that you buy inexpensively, or even just your mind and your heart. You can do magic just using what you have inside. I just wanted to reach out to you today and share that. Would you please, in the comments, if you have items that are your favorite ritual items that didn't cost you a lot of money, would you share those with me? You can write them in the comments, either whether we're on Facebook or YouTube. I would also appreciate it if you would like this video. Share it with your friends because that gets me more YouTube reach. And again, share in the comments what you use, what your ritual items are, what's on your altar, and how you were able to find the items that you need. I'm a big fan of making it myself and finding it inexpensively. I could go to the store and buy things, as you can see, sometimes I do. But I feel like when we create things and when we use found objects, we can put so much more of our energy in them. And stuff like this, when we make those spell candles, that has all my energy in it because I made it. So, tell me what you think, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.